Hello there, everyone. Welcome into our ESPN FC studios for a fresh edition of the show. I'm Alexis Nunes alongside the one and only Nicol, who's looking quite dapper today, but we don't stop there. We also have Ogden and Don Hutchison joining us, and I'm so glad that we have them because let's talk about the big news today, guys. And that is that Bruno Fernandes of Manchester United has won the PFA Player of the Year award. We love individual awards, don't we? But Augie, I'm going to start with you because judging by last season and the fact that he pretty much swept all the awards then, this was definitely no surprise. So why wait for now to give him this one?
Well, I suppose Don and Stevie will be able to tell you better than I can, but back in the day, the PFA award was usually done quite early. The players would vote around January, February time, and it would sometimes get handed out by April. So the view was that they weren't really covering the full season. They weren't giving the reflection of what a player has done over 9 months. So they changed the system maybe 3 or 4 years ago so that the vote is held at the end of the season. And then as soon as the players are back into this season, that they'll hand out the award because obviously they can't hand it out in middle of July or August because people are on holiday. So season starts, they give out the trophy, but it's for last season, so it does feel a little bit out of the ordinary. But it is to make sure that the player of the year is the player of the year, not the player of the half year. So as I say, Don and Steve will remember when the voting forms went out in January or February, everybody picked the same player, and you got a vote in April when the season was still 6-7 weeks to go.
Don, we know our Frank the Buff hates individual awards, but you love individual awards. You're a positive guy, so 100% deserved, right?
Oh, easy. I mean, it was back in the day when me and Stevie were voting. It was conceived or perceived as a little bit of a joke. You used to vote for your teammates. You used to vote for your mates that you were, pals with at other clubs. So now it's taken a lot more professionally, and rightly so. And you think the best player by a million miles last season was Bruno Fernandes. He topped all the charts. He broke all the records with his assists. So fully deserved.
Stevie?
Yeah, even I can't argue with that. Yeah, I think.
Here he is.
Well, listen, if you carry a club the size of Manchester United on your back, then you deserve to get the awards that are available. And so, yeah, it was thoroughly deserved, 100%. Yeah. No question.
Some would say that maybe an Arsenal player should have won this award, considering Arsenal won the Premier League. But you, Stevie, actually won this similar award, the Football Writers Association Player of the Season award, when you guys lost the league to Arsenal.
Thanks for reminding me of that. Cheers.
At least you won the award, though.
How did you manage to squeeze that in?
Oh, I had to look through the history books, let me tell you.
No, we did lose it in the last game of the season, and we had won the FA Cup.
So you just didn't care when you got there?
Yeah, no, I actually, although this feels a little strange, I actually like what they're doing with this. Because as Don said, it was a little strange that, at the end of January, you're filling in these forms. And so, incredibly, most of the time, the right people won it.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. Somehow, because if you think about it, when you're doing this in the end of January, the fact that the right person won it is incredible, but it did actually usually end up the right. But I prefer this way better than the old system. It does seem a little strange right now, but listen, in a couple of years' time, when it seems like the norm, then 100% the right decision will be made. And as I said before, Bruno Fernandes was the right decision for last season.
For last season, indeed. But Manchester United definitely haven't started this season well. This is what Bruno Fernandes had to say after their loss to Hull City at the weekend. Same mistakes as we did last season. Every away game, we give too much of the ball to them. In the first 20 minutes, the goalkeeper was the one with the most touches. We needed to press more, be more aggressive. And then again, we need to work on set plays and not concede these type of goals. Against these type of teams, they are waiting for that moment. And Hull City definitely took their moment. So, Augie, how much panic is there in Manchester after what we saw at the weekend?
How much panic? Wow, I mean, listen, it's still only mid-August, isn't it? But United have got a habit of making bad starts to the season. I've seen it a few times in recent years now where there's a bit of momentum, they've had a good season previously, and they've signed a couple of players, and then bang, you lose a game. They should win, never mind not lose. United needs to strengthen at the back, but they've obviously focused on midfield. They've got 3 midfielders in. But they do need a fullback. They probably need 2 fullbacks because I'm not sure the right back situation is resolved either. But every season is an issue, and I think, is it good that it's happened now? Maybe, but I'd be a little bit concerned the fact that they've had quite a clear summer actually to get everything right. And the first game of the season, the whole City manager says, we know that Man United aren't great at set pieces, so we targeted them, and they made it easy. But I said that for me, the craziest picture I've seen all weekend is Harry Maguire wrestling Brian and Bumo, which is just, I mean, how do you wrestle your own player at a corner?
Yeah, that was definitely a sight to see. Don, is it, as Bruno has said, new season, but same old United problems? How many of the same problems are you seeing?
Well, I'm seeing the same back four at Man United that I've seen for the last 4 or 5 years, so there's been no change there. I don't know. I mean, listen, Bruno talks about giving the ball away. I mean, he's one of the biggest culprits of giving the ball away because he plays that way. He's risk and reward. So you can't, complain when your teammates are giving the ball away when you're doing the same. I thought they got beat up in wide areas. I didn't think they stopped enough crosses. I thought they were weak when crosses were coming in. Whole play to Man United's weakness, and they played it very well. Listen, it's one of them, Alexis, right? When you go away from home on match day 1 and a 12:30 kickoff, it's never going to be easy. The big test for Man United is the next game at home. They've got Ipswich at home. If they lost that one or dropped points in that one, then there'd be major concern. There'd be major panic stations. I don't think it's the end of the world. There's been a couple of teams like Liverpool, etc., that have dropped points. Match day 1, it's all about if you can't get the result, it doesn't matter how you play. Unfortunately for Man United, they got beat up on the day, so time for them to react.
Yeah, still only the first game of this season. Stevie, you okay with Bruno Fernandes speaking out like this?
I think so. I think so, yeah. I mean, it's kind of like, what do you expect if you're Manchester United? Last season, their best attribute was going forward with that 4 pretty much that we just saw. And the problems were in the middle of the park and defensively. And so when you bring in Tielemans and Santos, I don't think you particularly strengthen the middle. And then you don't make any changes at the back, then don't be surprised when you get the same outcome and the same performances. So it really shouldn't be that big a surprise because nothing has changed. The only thing that's changed is the 2 personnel changes in the middle of the park. But in my opinion, it's funny, Augie was mentioning Roy Keane. Now, if you brought Roy Keane in to play in there, then you would see a difference. But I don't think Tielemans and Santos make any difference to what was there before them. And so don't be surprised when nothing changes.